Welcome to the On Deck Podcast, presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, ready to break down your daily fantasy baseball slate for today. We've got a 14-gamer, a Mondo slate.
Mondo, let's go.
We'll get to your daily fantasy projections. We'll also get to some prop bets and your home run calls of the day. First, we start things off with some MLB storylines for you. We've got Bryce Harper's return today. Big things for Philadelphia, although Zack Wheeler did just hit the IL with right forearm tendinitis.
Don't like that.
Don't like to see that.
Nope.
They say he will be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it. Phillies have won 4 straight, though.
Just hard whenever you see a pitcher have something wrong with the forearm, the elbow, shoulder, all dangerous signs.
Or the groin, as in the case with Nestor Cortes, who also hit the IL. Not good for the Yankees. Although they activate Giancarlo Stanton.
Had a good game yesterday, too.
That's exciting for the Yankees. But Nestor Cortes going on the IL is not good news for them. So, a little good, little bad for both the Phillies and the Yankees. All good for the Cardinals. Paul Goldschmidt.
Just crushing.
3 hits, 2 home runs yesterday, 5 RBI day. Put him within 2 home runs of having a hold of all 3 legs of the Triple Crown. First in average, second in home runs, and first in RBI right now.
Yeah, he has a decent lead on average, too, and he's plus 500 to win the Triple Crown now if you want to bet it.
That's such a difficult feat to accomplish. It just takes also a tremendous amount of luck too when you think about it. I think it's tough. People have to be on base in front of him. He has to hit well, hit for power too. Nonetheless, it's impressive. He's having quite the season this year. It's pretty ridiculous. And as you were looking up stats on OPS, number 2 right behind him is Nolan Arenado. Yeah, but it's like 130 points behind Goldie. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
He's just been phenomenal this season on.
Crushing.
Just absolutely crushing it. Helping us with our prop bets, too. So we like to see that. Rays are on a 6-game win streak, and they are 7.5 back in the AL East. AL East is, aside from the Yankees, it's an interesting little battle there. Yeah. Who would have thought the Rays would
NL
be in
East
second?
is also.
Yeah.
Mets are only 2 up on the Braves. And Phillies trying to make a push. They've been playing well lately.
Right. So interesting things to watch as we inch closer to September. Some weather notes for you today in Daily Fantasy. Cape note of Pittsburgh at Phillies. Storms should clear by first pitch. Then Cincinnati at Washington. We've got a few spotty showers lingering, but delays not likely in that situation. Although keep an eye on Fenway Park. The Rays are at Boston, and this one could be a pretty ugly game. We're looking at a rain delay or a PPD. So keep an eye on that game. Colorado at Mets. Everything should be clear by first pitch. We got some nice winds out to center there, 10 miles an hour. So that bodes well for the polar bear.
Sure does. Did me right yesterday.
If you are watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and throw us a comment as well. If you're listening to us on the podcast, thanks for listening. Be sure to leave us a nice review in the Apple Store if you don't mind, and if you're enjoying the podcast. Now we'll get into our chalk report for today, taking a look at the daily fantasy options for pitchers. We're first going to talk about where the field is headed for today in our high-owned pitchers segment. Yankees righty Garrett Cole's on the mound today, and he's going up against the A's. He is 42% owned, 38% owned on FanDuel, 3.41 ERA, 2.12 opponent average. Now, last time out, he did get touched up a little bit by the Blue Jays for 4 earned runs in 6 innings with 5 strikeouts. Now, he's gotten tagged with the loss in 3 of the last 4, although that's not really his fault. However, do you like his matchup for today against an A's team? They strike out a good bit.
The A's aren't quite Toronto.
No.
So I think you got to like the matchup today. Poor Oakland offense. We have a 4-star alert rating on him. 25% combined K rate, so there's some nice upside. The only issue I'm really seeing is some of Cole's StatCast data isn't the best, a little sketchy. 40% fly balls, lots of hard contact. He's been a bottom 10 pitchers in barreled balls allowed over the last 30 days.
All right, so a good option even though ownership is there as well?
Yeah, I mean, ownership's there, but he has real solid upside, and as long as he can miss those bats, he'll be fine.
Brewers righty Freddie Peralta going up against the Cubs today. Also fairly highly owned, 38% on DraftKings, 18% on FanDuel. 4.08 ERA, 2.10 opponent average. He's been great in the month of August. Hasn't given up more than 4 hits per game in August. Last game, 2 earned runs on 4 hits, 5 strikeouts. So he's been having a good month.
Yeah, that ERA and everything looks fine, but he does have a 4.8 FIP over those last 5 games or 4 starts since being back from the IL, and only an 18% K rate.
Right.
So his K stuff, it has not been there. We know Freddie P is a good pitcher and has some nice strikeout stuff, but for whatever reason, since he's been back, that has not shown up yet. Because of that, with these ownerships, personally, for my lineups, I might be going somewhere else and kind of wait for that K stuff to show up before I follow him, being high owned and high priced. With that said, though, he is in a good spot, facing a Matt offense, and there's totally a chance that he does turn around that K upside and get it today.
Given where ownership is, though, on him, and you talked a lot about the strikeout upside not exactly being there, it might be worth.
Yeah, I personally am probably going somewhere else. There are some low-owned guys I really like today. So
another high-owned player for today, we've got Shane Bieber on the hill going up against the Mariners. 34% owned DraftKings, 16% ownership on FanDuel. 3.10 ERA, 2.34 opponent average. Hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in the last 5 games, averaging 6.5 strikeouts per game in the month of August. He's been great. What do you like about him for today against the Mariners?
Good old Bieber fever. Seattle has been a very good offense, especially with Haniger returning to the lineup, but Bieber is a stud. I don't think that offense should scare you off of him. 2.07 FIP over his last 5 starts, 26% K rate. We talked a lot about earlier in the season how his K stuff wasn't quite there, but it's been showing up. We have a 23% combined K rate on him today and a 3-star alert rating. It's really a situation if you feel comfortable facing Seattle with Bieber or not.
Yeah.
I think Bieber's in a fine spot, and his price point isn't too bad.
All right. So perhaps Bieber fever.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't sound like you have Bieber fever, though.
I don't mind him. I might rather just go to Strider.
Sounds like your temperature is not exactly feverish.
It's not feverish. Yeah. I'm running a cool 97. I'm just cruising. Feel good.
So let's take a look at some low-owned options. See if we can find a little more leverage here today. Braves righty, the 23-year-old Spencer Strider going up against the Cardinals today. 15% ownership on FanDuel and 2.95 ERA for him, 181 opponent average. Kids are averaging 13.5 strikeouts per 9, which leads all pitchers minimum 60 innings pitched. Whenever he is in the lineup, you've got to consider him, even though he is facing a Cardinals offense that is red hot.
Yes, he's facing the Cardinals obviously, it's a really good offense. But we're talking about a guy that should run away with Rookie of the Year and really should be in the Cy Young conversation. He has been insanely good, 36% K rate. That K upside is there, and whenever you have a guy with this much upside that's this good of a pitcher, even against a team like St. Louis, you need to pay attention, especially with ownerships are down. He did have 12 Ks versus St. Louis earlier in the year, and we have a 27% combined K rate on him today, which is higher than all of the high-owned guys.
I just looked up. Has a rookie ever won the Cy Young? Fernando Valenzuela was the only player to win the Cy Young Award and Rookie of the Year in the same season.
Yeah. Now, I don't think he will.
Right.
I think Sandy Alcantara probably runs away with it. But Strider should be in the conversation.
Cubs lefty Justin Steele is going up against the Brewers today. Low ownership there, just 3%. 3.25 ERA, 2.45 opponent average, decent numbers there. He hasn't allowed any runs in 4 of the last 5 games, so someone you have to take note of.
He has been insane his last 5 starts. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. 1.46 FIP, 36% K rate over his last 5. Like, he has been elite over that time. All with really good StatCast data. So some of the underlying stats are supporting this. We have him at a 32% K rate today, or combined K rate. So tons of upside, 4.5 alert score. Milwaukee versus lefties, 24.3% K rate, 290 WOBA, and a 136 ISO. So they haven't been great versus lefties. Steele's been great. I really like this one.
Yeah. I mean, why not take a chance on him while he is completely dialed in right now?
You know, it's kind of doing the opposite, whereas Freddie P has not been that great and he's high owned, whereas Steele is low owned, has been absolutely spectacular. Like, I would rather ride that kind of hot hand and hope he can do it again.
And that last game was against the Brewers.
Yep.
Scoreless, 9 strikeouts in that game.
He's been incredible lately, so...
Got to take note of for today. Twins righty Joe Ryan going up against the Giants today. 2% ownership there. 3.86 ERA, 2.22 opponent average. Last game, 2 earned runs and 6 1/3, 6 strikeouts for him. In a decent spot today. Another guy to consider. He
is in a decent spot. We have a 5-star alert rating on him. We know he's a really good pitcher, but he hasn't been that great lately. 5.8 FIP over the last 5. 27% K rate over the last 5, though. So he's had the ceiling, and we have a really good ceiling for what his price is today. The one thing, though, is we do have some scary StatCast data, but San Francisco's offense, 294 WOBA, 24% K rate, and leading to our combined K rate today of 24.7%. So Ryan, I think, is a little riskier of these 3, but he's cheap, and, you know, there's a nice ceiling there for his price.
Yeah, and especially, like you mentioned, the ownership isn't there, so it could be a nice leverage option for a low-owned pitcher for today's slate. Let's take a look now at our team stacks, and first we'll talk about where the field is headed with the high-owned stacks of the day. First is going to be the Phillies, going up against Pirates righty Bryce Wilson, who's got a 5.74 ERA, 2.97 opponent average, and he's giving up a 10.06 average or OPS to lefty bats. Yeah. Guess who's a lefty bat that's back in the lineup today? Bryce Harper. So it's understandable why the field is high on the Phillies for today.
Totally. There's a lot to like about the Phillies. Wilson's been pretty much a punching bag all season for opposing offenses. 5.5 FIP, 38% hard contact, tons of barrel balls, highest Vegas run total on the slate, and we have warm weather, winds blowing out. So a lot to like here.
Yeah, not to mention the Pirates bullpen is giving up the 5th highest average in baseball. So
I'm glad you added that because, the bullpen's also bad. So Phillies third day in a row or the high stack, and it makes sense.
White Sox going up against D-backs lefty Tommy Henry. He's got a 3.57 ERA, 2.29 opponent average. Now he's just got 4 games under his belt, so hard to really get an accurate assessment of really what he's capable of. Last game, 1 earned run and 5 1/3 against the Cardinals, which kind of jumps out to you a little bit. Given that ownership is high here on the White Sox, are you also high on the White Sox today?
I think they're okay. Henry has been okay pitching wise. His FIP is 5. That ERA looks really good, but he hasn't been quite as good as what the ERA shows. And there's some scary stuff. He's allowing almost 40% fly ball or 46% fly balls, 28% hard contact. He's allowed at least 3 runs in both of his away starts, so he hasn't been as good on the road as he is at home. So I think there is some merit to going to the White Sox. Will I be going there? I don't know. I kind of like some of our other low-owned stacks a little bit more, so kind of probably going to go that way.
Speaking of those low-owned stacks, the first team we're going to look at is the Astros going up against Orioles righty Kyle Bradish. He's got a 6.25 ERA, 3.18 opponent average. He's a guy, unfortunately for him, we like to pick on a little bit.
Totally.
In these matchups, especially against such a good offense as the Astros.
And Bradish has been pitching a little bit better lately.
That is true.
He's not allowing quite as many home runs, but he's still allowing a lot of home runs. 4.4 FIP over the last 5, 34% hard contact, 28% line drives, a ton of barrel balls. Hitters just aren't missing his pitches, really. So you got to like an offense that, one, will work the count and hits the ball hard. So I like Houston.
Mets going up against Rockies righty Chad Kuhl, who's got a 5.16 ERA, 2.73 opponent average. Last time out versus the Padres, he gave up 3 bombs. And you might think, oh, that must have been at Coors. Nope, it was at Petco, the pitcher's park. He's giving up a ton of home runs lately. So you got to like the Mets. They're in a good spot for today.
Yeah, and the Padres haven't even been hitting well.
Yeah,
did that.
That's true.
9.85 FIP over his last 5 starts, 39% hard contact, 30% line drives, tons of barrel balls, really high average exit velocity. And the Mets are hitting 286 off him in the last 27 plate attempts. Plus, on the road, he has a 6.08 ERA and a 2.88 opponent average. With the warm weather, winds blowing out, I think there's a lot to like about the Mets.
Yeah. Polar Bear Pete got your home run call yesterday.
Might be going with him again.
All right. So all of that data is available on the LineStar app, especially the ownership, which is so important. We've got improved ownership on LineStar app, so it really helps you out in those bigger contests, especially on a big slate like today where you're trying to get different, and it's a little bit easier with the big slate. However, just really an important component of trying to win those big contests. So make sure you check out linestarapp.com. I should note that prices will go up in about a week or so when the football season starts. We go up from $19.99 to $29.99, which is still a great deal considering we've got some new stuff coming out. It's going to be awesome. However, we want you to lock that price in right now, $19.99. Save yourself $10 a month and lock that in now for the upcoming football season. Got a lot of great stuff coming that we're excited to roll out for you there. Now let's use the LineStar app to get our sleeper picks of the day. Our sleeper pick of the day on DraftKings is going to be Washington Nationals outfielder Lane Thomas. He's only $2,000 on DraftKings, and today going up against Cincinnati Reds' Mike Minor. Taking a look at his player card, we've got some good stats. The other day went 2 for 4 with an RBI single. As you can see, the LineStar community, a lot of people already liking him for today and his matchup. He's got a 2.5-star alert. Check out some of these little smiley face icons. Minor is 267th against righty bats, giving up 2.31 fantasy points per plate attempt. That's a good point there. And the Cincinnati bullpen, we know that they're not good. So if it goes to the bullpen, they're 28th against righty bats, giving up 2.45 fantasy points per plate appearance. So some good numbers there to support the fact that Lane Thomas is in a good spot today at only $2,000. So a great way to save some money on a bat.
Yeah, and Minor has not been good lately. He's given at least 4 runs in the last 3 starts.
So a good play there for DraftKings. Now let's take a look at our FanDuel sleeper pick of the day, and it's going to be Joey Meneses, also in a great spot today for the Washington Nationals, going up against Mike Minor, who you just talked about was really struggling over the past couple starts. $2,700 on FanDuel, and this is a guy, before we even started this segment, you said was a good bet for today. We looked him up on DraftKings. He was a little bit more pricey, and so on FanDuel, you're getting that value with him.
FanDuel is drunk with that price. he needs to be higher.
I mean, take a look. I mean, he crushed a homer the other day, and if you can see here on this graph, the blue that indicates his fantasy score for that day, 28 points he put up in fantasy for you. If he had him on August 23rd, that's amazing. He also has a 4-star alert for today, which is great. We talked about how Minor doesn't do great against righty bats, giving up over 3 fantasy points per plate appearance. And if you look at those numbers on the bottom, if you could see that average, 329 average. Anytime you can get a guy who's hitting 329 at $2,700 on the Nationals, you got to take notice there.
Good bet and a good matchup.
So that's your play on FanDuel, a nice sleeper play there and great value. Like Tyler said, FanDuel's drunk and giving you a great option there. Those are all our picks for today. Remember, you can find all of this information plus many more value picks of the day at LineStarApp.com. Make sure to lock in your subscription now at $19.99 per month. That price going up for football season, so lock it in now. LineStarApp.com, link is below. Our home run calls for the day. Here we go. Who's going yard today? Now, Tyler got his pick yesterday. Pete Alonso went yard for you.
Sure did.
Great call yesterday. So who are you going with today for your home run call?
Let's run it back. We're going Polar Bear. He did me right yesterday. We're going to go back to him today. Chad Kuhl is allowing 1.7 home runs per 9 on the road, and he's facing righty killer Big Meat Pete. Pete Alonso has 24 of his 31 home runs have come against a righty today. He also has more warm weather and more winds blowing out. Like he needs any help, Pete Alonso for a home run.
And we talked about earlier how Chad Kuhl gave up 3 home runs to the Padres the last time out, and that was at Petco. Pete Alonso in a great spot today. Love your home run call for today.
That Citibank Park, you know, it plays really well with winds going out. It makes the home runs way easier there.
Good call for the Polar Bear Bomb. I am going Bryce Harper. He makes his return to the lineup today and in a great spot. This is a lefty bat going up against a righty, and this is also the battle of the Bryces. He's going up against Pirates righty Bryce Wilson, who gives up a 612 slugging to lefty bats. Also, he has a 172 home run per 9 rate, which is top 25 among all pitchers, minimum 50 innings pitched. The bullpen also isn't that good, and they're allowing the 5th highest opponent average. Meanwhile, Bryce Harper, before he got hurt, was absolutely crushing righties, a 640 slugging. He also had 2 home runs the other day in the minor leagues. He's back. He's ready to go. I think he goes yard today in his debut.
I like it.
And the Bryce with the C takes Bryce with the S in the battle of the Bryces. Just saying.
All right.
A little different spelling.
So the C Bryce is a little better, you're saying?
He's got the advantage in this one for sure. Now let's take a look at our prop bets for the day. Remember, you can play along with our prop bets contest. All you have to do is like this video, be subscribed to our channel, and comment below. You're automatically entered in. One lucky commenter will win $60 if both Tyler and I hit our props. Today, you can find those props. They're all available on the PrizePicks app. If you don't already have PrizePicks, it's legal in most states. All you have to do is download it. And if you are a new user and deposit at least $10, you can get up to $100 of your deposit matched. All you got to do, use the promo code LineStar. Link is below to that, so you can tailor our picks there. Pretty good deal there.
I love it.
So yesterday, oh man.
Yep.
Didn't hit it yesterday, although we are still profitable for the week. So
we are still profitable. Mine pushed. Yours didn't hit.
Wah. 0 for 4.
Yeah. But we ride again.
We ride again today.
Yep.
We're on PrizePicks. So who are you going with for your prop bet of the day?
You know, I went with Pete Alonso for my home run call yesterday. Went with him again today for my home run call. And now he's also my prop bet for over 0.5 runs. I have the Mets as one of my favorite low-owned stacks. Chad Kuhl is worse on the road than at home. And the Colorado bullpen is bad. Add in warm weather, winds blowing out, and I just really love this spot for the Mets. And I think Alonso easily gets one run.
You're doubling down on the polar bear. I'm doubling down on Bryce Harper over 1.5 bases. That is at -150 in the sports books. So some great value on PrizePicks. He's going up against the righty Bryce Wilson, who gives up a 10.06 OPS to righty bats. Remember, the league average, I tell you guys every day, is 707. So just gives up a huge OPS to lefty bats. Bryce Harper, meanwhile, a lefty bat that has a 1021 OPS versus righties. That's what he was doing before he got hurt, and he's been crushing it in the minors. He's ready to go today. Also, the Pirates bullpen allows the 5th highest opponent average in all of baseball. So if he doesn't get it against Bryce Wilson, he's got an opportunity against that bullpen as well. So over 1.5 bases.
Let's just have them both hit bombs, and then we're good to go.
Then we're good on all 4.
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's go today.
Make Friday end the week right.
A good Friday. We always do really well on Fridays. Have you noticed that?
Fridays are a good day.
Fridays are good days for us.
I like Victory Lap Mondays.
Victory Lap Mondays. Yep. We've had quite a lot of them. So if you aren't already playing along with our prop bet contest, I mentioned all you got to do, like, subscribe, and comment below. You're automatically entered in. It's that easy. And if Tyler and I both hit our props, you could win $60. We will announce the winner on Monday in what will hopefully be a Victory Lap Monday.
Oh, it will be.
So that's going to do it for us on the On Deck podcast for this Friday. Good luck to you in all your daily fantasy contests and your prop bets. We will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.
Have a good one, guys. Bye. All right.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, I was thinking more about schedule. I just I think on Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe not Friday, we could do like a normal show for baseball. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you think.
Yeah. I think it's like a lot of it's just going to be like doing it and then.
It is, totally.
So I'm like trying to think about stuff, but it's only so much we can just tell from how long things are going to take.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.